I am in my office today, so I wanted to show you this neat little thing I got from a vendor last year, this time at the Indianapolis Horror Hound Convention. And I found this little cheapy frame to put it in. And that was the year that my daughter and I got a photo op with Robert England, and we got to meet him. Keep your fingers crossed this year. I hope to meet Elvira. That may or may not happen. We are going. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that or not. My two kids, who are now both in college, are going to be meeting Stephen Ogg. So if you guys know him. So I will be doing some photos of that. If I get to meet Elvira, guys, you are going to hear about it and you're going to see it because it's going to be one of my highlights of my life, which is pretty sad, but whatever. Anyway, this video is specifically taking place in my office because I am doing a review of this typewriter that I got at CVS. But first, I'm going to give you a little look here of my all around the year display that I have here in one corner of my office. And if you guys want to see an entire tour, let me know. But my office is always a total wreck, and it's really messy. So, and also I'm lazy, so if no one wants to see it, then I'm not really going to bother with tidying it up. But let me know in the comments if you want to see it. It's kind of Halloween, Houdini, vintage doll and antique doll related, and that's all year long. So if you're interested in that or think you might be, let me know in the comments and I will do a video if it's something that people want to see. Now here's an old typewriter that I got last year. It's on my Singer sewing machine, my treadle sewing machine. And if you're interested in this as well, I am going to be doing one of my great grandma's dress patterns on it, just like she would have done. Just for kicks, I sew, but I've never sewn on an actual old sewing machine. That is for other things, other videos, but let me know if that's something you guys want to see. But for this, it's going to be the typewriter that I got this week. And I'm going to try to keep it short, but I have a lot more to say about it in comparison to the Grandin Road $160 version and the Big Lots version, which was $25. So, and then I go into how I decorate compared to how other people decorate, their tastes, and what people look for in the items that they purchase. So that'll be a part 2. In the description I'll put the link, so if you want to go into more depth with it, because you're Halloween crazy like me and you just have this whole system, which I have a system. It is the end of August and I've already made my rounds and I'm not done. I will be going to every store that ever sold even the tiniest little skeleton. I go to the stores repeatedly to check out to see what they have. It's the end of August. I got this week. That was not out at the beginning of their Halloween thing. So that'll be part 2. But, and let me just bump my camera here and make you guys dizzy. This is just a straight review for this, so you can go on your day without listening to me talking forever. But if you want to talk forever, then look for part 2. This is the packaging, animated retro typewriter. Usually the description's pretty straightforward and generic. Their line at CVS is Spooky Village, and it gives you what it is: pop out skeleton hand, sound activated LED illumination, Halloween sound effects. It does come with the batteries, AA's, and the price is $16.99. I would totally pay $16.99 for this, but if you're familiar with CVS, then you'll know about extra care bucks, and that's, you know, dollars that you can spend there, that they reward you with according to how much you've spent that month. So I actually had $10, so I only paid $6.99 for it. So very tickled with the price that I paid for that. And if you're like me, you're kind of on a budget because these are all, you know, unnecessary items. So when you go to purchase, you are looking for deals and using your coupons and such. You know, at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, every place, you're trying to use their coupons so that you don't, you know, break the bank every year. But I wanted to give the dimensions of this as well because I know that's important to some people. This is about 7 inches deep. And I'm going to go from this point because this is the largest point. And I got this upside down. Wake up, Liz. Act like you've measured stuff before. This is about 9 inches long. And if you don't count the paper, it's about 5.5 inches tall. I don't know why you wouldn't count the paper. It's about 7 inches with the paper, how it is there. You don't really want to straighten it out. You want it curved like that, and I'll show you why now because we are going to go ahead and demonstrate it. I'm going to shut up. Be forewarned, it is loud, which is very good if you're doing a walkthrough or you're having a party with music, or if there's other animated items in your display. This won't, it will be loud enough for everybody to hear. So be forewarned, here goes. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I love about this. And part 2 will tell you why, because I'm comparing it to other things. I love the typewriter sound. I love the clacking sound that comes just incidentally from the plastic hand. The ding at the end. If you're old like me, I'm 43. I actually took a typing class, so I actually used something just like this one right here. So you'll remember from your first week of typing class, ASDF space, JKL sim space, as you learned your home row. So it's all laid out correctly, not like Grandin Road's $160 version. If that's important to you, the Grandin Road version does have other features, so I'm not going to totally bash Grandin Road, but I think it's overrated, guys. People about poop their pants every time they come out with something. But we'll go into that. I think they could do well with some more artists there and some more people who are creatively displaying the actual items they come up with. But that's part 2. It's sound activated, so you don't have to press the button, but I think that's nice. Especially if you're like me and you don't want to scare your whole family for 2 months straight so they are not on your case until Halloween. To have it to where you can just press it and then have the sound activated option for your party, your walkthrough, or for your Halloween day. I love that this lights up, and I'm going to go ahead and do it again and kind of block, turn off this light and block the sorry if you hear cicadas. There were no cicadas almost all year, and then all of a sudden they're in full force this summer. So here we go, so you can see a close-up on the lighting up feature. It was a dark and stormy night. So I love that. The Big Lots version is $25, and that's the closest that I found to this. It's about 1.5 pounds is what I would say, so it's pretty substantial. It would be pretty easy if you're persnickety like me to redo this if you didn't really care for the skeleton on it. I mean, this will be part 2. There are people who want the realism, and the skull is over the top cheesy. It's stupid, doesn't make any sense. It looks like this is an applique that can be taken off, but I'm not going to do that right now. You could certainly refinish it if you didn't like it. I actually had a similar style of typewriter. That was something that my brother and I were allowed to play with. I'm not really sure why my mom allowed that, but we wrecked it up. It's laid out almost the same as that actual version. Obviously it's not as big. I do believe ours was about like this. It was about this tall. I mean, it was pretty substantial. It was Kill Kathy Bates in Misery size and heft. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. I would have paid the $16.99 for it. Please tune in to part 2. I don't know if I had said this, but this was part of the Shining theme for one display area in my room last year, and I made a cute little, well, I think it's cute because it has one of my cats in it, little Shining spoof of my cat Jack. But that will be part 2. So if you have any questions that I didn't go over, because I did this video, I've made this video like 100 times and I've goofed up so many times. I don't know if I've went over everything or if I'm just remembering having went over it in the other videos, my failed attempts. So if I didn't go over anything that you would like to know more about that I could possibly answer, then please let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. And that'll do it for this part 1. Please look for part 2 in the description. I hope you guys have a very spooky day. Bye-bye.